Have you ever wondered what capacitors are and how they work? Let's discover it together. A capacitor stores electric charge. They are so useful that they are found on almost every circuit board. They store energy when circuits are running and return it to the circuit to restore interruptions in the power supply. Imagine a circuit consisting of a battery and a small LED lamp. If we cut the power, the LED goes out. But if we put a capacitor in between, the lamp will stay on during short power interruptions. So how does a capacitor do this? Inside a basic capacitor are two conductive plates, usually aluminum. These plates are separated by dielectric insulating materials such as ceramic. If we connect capacitors to a power source, the voltage pushes electrons from the negative side towards the capacitor. While the electrons accumulate on one plate of the capacitor, some electrons are released on the other plate. Due to the insulating material, electrons cannot pass through the capacitor and the capacitor reaches the same voltage as the power supply. Once this happens, no more electrons pass through and there is a buildup of electrons on one side of the capacitor. This means that there is energy that we can release if needed. There are more electrons on one side, and since electrons are negatively charged, this means that one side of the capacitor is positively charged and one side is negatively charged. If you use a multimeter, you can read this voltage difference. If we disconnect the power supply and connect an element to the circuit that will use this electric charge, these electrons move, and the movement of electrons continues for a short time until the two sides are equalized and the capacitor discharges its charge. Capacitors come in many different types, and you can see capacitors in circuits in the shapes in the picture. Electrolytic capacitors are known for their high capacitance, while ceramic capacitors are preferred in high-frequency applications. Film capacitors stand out with their durability, while trimmer capacitors offer adjustable values. We also see two values next to the capacitors. These are the capacity and voltage of the capacitor. Capacity is measured in farads, and you are likely to come across capacitors in microfarads. The other unit is the voltage value. The value in farads indicates the load capacity of the capacitor, while the voltage rating is the maximum voltage the capacitor can handle. Be careful, if you exceed the voltage rating, the capacitor will explode. Care must be taken when dealing with capacitors, and the legs must not be touched. Also, even if a capacitor is disconnected from the circuit, it may still be energized. You can measure this with a multimeter and place a resistor between the legs to discharge the capacitor. Capacitors are used in electronic circuits for filtering, voltage regulation, time delay, and many more applications. They are ubiquitous, from our phones and computers to our automobiles and space shuttles. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video for more content.